All right, we are Facebook Live as well. If you want to join here, is better. Awesome. All right, so it's live on Facebook as well, which is cool. And let me see if this works, if everybody can hear me. All right, yes, we're live. Awesome, good. All right, who else we got here? Let me see if we have everybody else. See who's joining us. Right now, we're just going to get started in a minute. All right, good. Awesome. Good to have you here, Mitch. All right, this is good. This is good. It's been a while since we did Facebook Live like this. Mitch is on the other side, Colin, the other side, Facebook. So he decided to go and join the other tribe. Facebook is better or Zoom is better, whichever you guys. Yeah, he's on the other side. Um, let's get started, guys. We're gonna start in a couple of minutes. If you guys jumping on this, come and say hi. We're just gonna get started, and I'm gonna share my screen. How are you guys doing? It's been a while since we did this. Hope you guys doing really well. We got a lot of lives going to be happening in this group. Back on the track again, the way we did a few months ago. Start doing it pretty much on every other day after a couple of days, or at least once a week. That's the end goal. So, all right, 7:01. Let's get started. Let's get going. I'm just going to share my screen. Yeah, much better. Yeah, Zoom is much better. Look, I agree. Zoom is much better. Let me share my screen. Then we're gonna get going. All right, can you guys see my screen? Let me put this outside so we can hear it. What else we got? Yeah, can you guys see my screen, which is cool? Awesome. Let me put the chat window on this side as well so I can actually see. Let me make it a bit bigger. All right, cool. All right, so today we're going to talk about this online world, how to be invincible, online, right? When I was writing down, I think I made a mistake as usual. I said, how to be invisible online, um, and pretty big mistake. All right, so let me see who we got here on this space. So guys, some of you guys are jumping on Facebook, which is fine. Some of you guys coming on Zoom, and I know, all these guys who are coming on Facebook. That's good. Stay there. We're going to go through a lot of stuff today. We're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff. All the guys in the, yeah. uh, true. I know, made a mistake today, but let's get going, guys. Let's get started. So we're gonna have a lot of stuff to cover today, and I'm gonna go through a few things as well. So if you're coming online for the first time and you don't know who I am, my name is Jag. You're in the group. Hopefully, you know me. So who's this training for? Who is this training for? This training for people who are looking to build a brand, right? So this is the main thing. If you're looking to build your brand online, this space is for you. You must watch it. It's pretty cool, and we're going to talk about a lot of good stuff. And you're looking to grow your business fast, and you're looking for a consistent way of getting clients, right? So most people, what happens is, especially in the small business world, right? We're not talking about corporations, especially in the small business world. What's happening today is it's really hard for people to actually consistently getting clients, and we're going to talk through this. So that's the entire reason for becoming invincible online, so that you can actually have a business, right? So the context of what we're going to be talking about today, we're all going to be talking about in the context of business, right? Nothing else, just the business. So you could be doing social media, you could be doing whatever you like on social media, but are looking at today, what we're going to look at it mainly is to build a business, right? So that's the entire strategy. That's everything to do with the social media. So if you just like to do it for fun, yeah, please go and keep doing it, whatever you're doing. But we're going to talk more about in relation to business, right? That's the main thing. Um, what do I actually mean by online? What do I actually mean? So I just want to clarify this. pretty much everything to anything to do with the World Wide Web, like www, anything to do with that, it's online. Everything is online, right, in that space. So we're going to talk more in a wider online space, and we're going to look at different things, and we're going to come down to very, very specific strategies at the end, right? So let's look at the online assets. We talk about your online assets, who you got out there, what are the assets look like for you and for your business. So number one assets is a website. Your website is a number one asset. Social media accounts. um, doesn't matter what we call social media, is pretty much everything: Facebook to Instagram to LinkedIn, to Twitter, to whatever, to Pinterest. All these others pretty much social media accounts. Your blog places, if you are one of those bloggers, you like doing blogs, Medium is one of them. There are a few others available in the marketplace. So that's the online asset as well, right? So uh, any videos you do on YouTube, Vimeo, all these platforms, you put stuff together, is an online place. Your publications, whether you write books, whether you do ebooks, all these are online assets. Then sales funnels, then your webinars, whatever you run online is an asset for you, right? So I don't know if you notice it. I've been keep saying this word now. This is called assets. I'm not saying online accounts. I'm not saying anything else. The reason I say that, if you are an accountant in this space, you would understand more is, anything online or anything outside to build your business, we have assets, right? Like anything else. If you are looking your profit and loss account statement, you have assets which you use to build your business, right? So whether it's your car, whether it's a physical office, all these are assets. So in the online world, we also have these assets. You must be aware of these assets, because these are the assets which is going to make you money, right? So these are the online assets. You must have these online assets. So see, one of the biggest, or what's the biggest challenge today faced by a lot of people. So let's put it out there. Let's see who we got here on Facebook, and who else we got watching this. What's the biggest challenge? What is what? What is the biggest challenge, right? What is your biggest challenge in the online world today? What is your biggest challenge? What is your biggest challenge? I'll give you what I think, what people, consistency. Yeah, cool. This is good. Yeah, what else? What's the biggest challenge? What's your biggest challenge? Yeah, I think most people have this problem being consistent. Being consistent is one of the biggest thing, right? So what else is out there? Who else have any other challenge? Any other challenge? Time to create content. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, time to create content. um, Timing, yes, yeah. So let me give you what most people said to us, or said to me, in last many years about this stuff. Some of them said social media doesn't work for us, right? Very specifically saying, social media doesn't actually work for our business. Why should I bother doing it, right? What's the reason I should be doing it? The other one is take too much effort, just too much effort, right? It's way too much effort. Some people think it's just, I need to do so much work in that. For some people, it's just too confusing, like what to actually do. There's just so much, what do I actually do on there? So don't know what to do, right? There's so many. I don't know, have anything, I don't have anything interesting to share. This is pretty much the common one. Most people think that I don't have anything interesting to share. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't have a time to do it as well, right? So all these are sort of major concern, and we're going to look at today how you can actually overcome these things. What can we put in place so that we make sure that something happens, right? So remember what we talked about when we started. The entire reason you must be looking and doing this so that you want to grow your business, right? There is no I mean, if you are a hobbyist and you love putting content, you like doing it, then please go and do it, right? So whatever your hobby, whatever it suits you. But my entire reason for doing everything is because there is a reason to build a business, right? The business has got a impact on that. Whether it's your business, whether it's your client's business, you must look at it from that perspective, right? So that's why we're doing this. So let's start with the first thing, right? First thing first, right? First step. So let's take a first step in this. What is the first step, right? You know, first step in anything on www, on the World Wide Web, is to claim your name, right? Claim your name on every freaking platform out there. Claim your name. So I'm not saying you need to do the work, you need to put the content. Just claim your name first, because this is biggest thing, right? When you look at it, if you don't have your name, you don't claim your name, because somebody else might be using it, somebody else might claim it, somebody else do it, right? So the first thing, the reason we want to claim our name, I know Google guy is going to be saying this as well, that when somebody search your name, they put in the Google search, you must have 3 or 4 or 5 pages under your name, everything about your content, right? So must be consistent, right? So the other thing which I highly recommend when I say claim your name is every platform out there, whether it's a Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Medium, everything, YouTube, anything out there, website, domain name, all these must be under your name, right? Must be under your name. So just an example of this, if you go on Google today and type my name, put my name in there, and you'll see everything out there. You'll see that pretty much 3 or 4 pages are my name, right? You don't need to, there's everything just pops up there. So like from my website to LinkedIn to Facebook to any podcast I did for somebody else, my own podcast, my YouTube videos, everything just pops up there, right? Why? Because that everything is open under my name. So make sure this is number one. This is a starting step. Every URL, whether it's a facebook.com slash, should be the same name everywhere, right? Have a consistent name every across the platform, right? So it's really important, because if you have ABC Private Limited on Facebook, and on the other accounts you have, I don't know, your name, Andrew something, then what's going to happen is, um, people wouldn't be able to find you, right, in one space. So you want to make sure that first 3 or 4 Google search pages are under your name, right? That's the number one step. So if you haven't done it, the first thing you must do is claim your name, right? Claim your name, your identity, your online space identity. Claim that before somebody else does, right? So you might be one of those lucky people, your names is unique. Nobody else out there has got a similar name as you. Your surname is very unique, so most probably it still be there. But if you have a very common name and surname, your name probably have already gone. So you need to think about how you want to do it. So it's really important, really, really, really important to claim your name. So, and also, the other thing is, yeah, the first thing is just claim your name. That's and claim your name on every platform. So you don't need to start putting the content, just start with that, right? So once you have everything under your name, once you have everything under your name, right? So then we can start talking about every other step. The first, this is the other major question I always get asked these days, and especially these days, it's happened is, should I open everything under my name, or should I be doing my business name, right? Should I be promoting my business name? Should I be doing more towards the business rather than my name? So my question is always like, it depends, right? Where you at? Depends where you at, right? Some people have big businesses today. They have a huge business today, and they want to understand the way to put an effort, right? My effort, if you already have a business which is a big business, just work on the business one, right? So you already have everything. But if you don't have much, and you also do so many things, means that like me, I run a business, but I also do meditation, I also do other stuff as well. If you're like me, then it's just going to be really hard to limit yourself with the business. See, as a human being, we have different things, we do a lot of stuff. I'll give you my example is what happened for a long time. Since 2010, from 2010 onwards, I opened up a lot of businesses, right? And I failed in most of them, absolutely failed. And at that time when I was doing it, I felt that's the only business I'm going to do rest of my life, that at the time, right? But what happens is, with the time, 6 months down the track, I couldn't make any money from that business, so I had to shut it down. So because I was shutting it down, I had to shut down the page names as well on Facebook. I had to actually stop the website, I had to stop the blogs, I had to stop everything. It's everything was right. So business just didn't work, and this is just keep happening. So I started to think this way after a long time. You might be thinking this guy is just idiot, just keep failing in every business, but this is what happened. I just kept failing, kept failing. I start up another business and start putting content, start doing the work, start creating a page, start doing a website, start doing everything, and start writing blogs and doing everything, right? So well, with the time, what happened is I just fail after that, and all my content, I don't renew the web hosting for that as well, so the website disappears, Facebook page disappeared because I didn't do much on that. So everything started to disappear with the time. So my effort with the time has disappeared as well. So what I realized in 2016 was a time I said, hang on a second, I just can't keep doing it for the rest of my life, right? So I decided to build my brand. I just started to put everything under me. So if you look at today, you're in this group, all my URL, my pages, and everything I do, every content I put online is just under my name. Why is that? Because I could talk about this, what I'm talking about today. I could talk about anything else tomorrow, right? So it's just me. That makes it easy, right? That makes it easy for people. So doesn't mean that you have to follow the same thing what I do, but I'm just saying it makes it easy because as a person, you do a lot of stuff. So share people with what you do, and I'll talk about business as well. My Facebook ads run through my personal page, not my business page, just because that's the way I run it, right? So you don't have to do this way, but it makes sense for me, right? So once you have this. The next step is to understand the context of the business, right? Started putting the content and all that. um, we must understand this one thing. It's very important to understand this. You are a human being, right, who's running a business, right? You are a human being and running a business. You're not a business who's running this human being, right? So hopefully, you understand this. You are a human being first, then you run a business, right? Not the other way around. So it's really important to see that and accept it. Being a human is the first thing, then business, then everything else comes after that, right? So be a human being on social media platform as well, right? Not just the business. Be a human being first, and you won't actually do the things. In a real life, some of the things like, you won't actually go out on the first date and ask somebody to marry you, but most people do the same thing on social media, right? They get in there and just ask for business all the time, just keep asking for business. So be a human being first, right? Be a really good human being. Then we start about internet, or www, right? So world wide web online world. So there are two things in the online world today. So let me have a look. There are two things in the online world first, right? So number one is, they're things which are static. We kind of don't change. They just stay as is for, major part. They just stay as is, right? So they're static. The other one is a dynamic. Dynamic things are just moving in that space, right? So your website is pretty much static place. Your website is very static kind of place. I don't put anything on the website, and there is a reason for that as well, because you know if you start putting stuff on the website as well, with the time, what's going to happen is, um, I mean, you can do it, but I don't prefer to do it because, I put everything under my brand on the platform, which I don't have to manage. They're managed by somebody else. Like, I put stuff on Facebook because it's not managed by me, and like that, right? So website is pretty static. You just have it there as a dashboard. People just look at stuff. What do you do? The other thing is some stuff which is dynamic stuff, which keeps moving. And social media is a major part of that, right? So it's just keep moving, where you interact with people. It's just ongoing things. And we look at more in the social media place today, right? We'll talk about what are those dynamic part of this. Social media is one of them. Videos is the other one. Funnels are the other one, which are moving parts, which you add, change, move, and do stuff with that, right? So that's the main part. And we're going to look at this dynamic part of this as well, as online world, what moves, what keeps moving, and what happens is, right? So first of all, before I move into the other step, am I making sense? Does it actually make sense? Are you guys getting the point, right? Really different. We have two parts online. One is, which is static, just stay as is. So you don't need to put any effort in. You just do once and that's it. Like, for example, claiming your domain names, claiming your all the online identity. You claim that first. Once you do that, you don't have to do much about it, right? Yeah. So this is very important. So once you do that, it's very important. Yeah, absolutely. You need to put your face on there. Yeah. Because if you do it, everybody would know who the heck are you? Like what do you actually do? So it's really, really, really important. People need to relate. We all humans, right? We all want to be relatable. We all want to be relatable, not just talk about business all the time. So let's look at it very now. We're sort of getting into the marketing side of the world, but I want to explain before I get into the detail. Just want to explain to you guys what it is before we start talking about, social media as such. What the heck is that? And the three type of audience in your network today. The three type of audience. One is cold, warm, and hot, right? So the three type of audience in any environment, in any market today. So the cold market is very simple and straightforward. They have no idea who you are and what you do. They just don't know, right? Very cold. They have no information about you. They never heard of you. They don't know who you are, right? So, and they're kind of then after that is a warm audience, where you engage people through your content. You post something, you have a Facebook ads, you have other ads going on, people visit your page. They understand it, they watch your videos a little bit, watch your video, and they kind of started to know you more. They kind of see who you are, they know your face, kind of, they watch some sort of, basically they consumed your content, whether it's a Facebook post, whether it's a video or YouTube. Somewhere they actually consumed it. They know who the heck you are, right? What the heck you do, all that sort of stuff, right? So they know about you. So a little bit. So hot is somebody out there who actually did a bit of something to actually become part of your database. Means that they downloaded your PDF, they gave you your details, and they said, okay, I'll watch my this video. They register for your webinar, they register for your event. They're kind of hot, they know what the heck you do, right? So they gave their personal detail, whether it's a phone number, email address, or something, to you, in exchange of something. So they are kind of really hot at the time. See, now what happens is part of your job is nothing more than moving people from cold to warm to hot. That's it. That's part of your job. You just move people from A to B, B to C, cold to warm, warm to hot, and it's that's the process, like end to end process. When people are cold, they don't know anything about you. You want to make them warm. That's it. Once they're warm, you want to make them hot. Once they're hot, they're ready to buy from you, right? They kind of they know what you do, and they kind of gave you details out of that. In my stats, what I know, when people are hot, they're more likely 30 to 40% or 30% people end up buying from you if you're selling something, right? So that's what we must do in the Facebook world, in any world. If you're doing marketing, yes, in that sort of space as well. So your job is to move people from cold to warm to hot. That's it. That's the job, right? So, and we have different ways to do that, and we have different ways. We're going to talk about different ways how you can actually move people from this place. But that's the kind of end goal, right? So we want to move people from, so they, you can do two things or two ways, right? One is a paid way, and the other one is organic way, right? So if you want to move people from hair to hair to hair, like the stages, that's two ways you can do it: paid, organic, right? So let's talk about organic way first. Remember the this first number one rule is organic is slow and paid is fast, right? Organic is slow, paid is fast. If you want to build your business fast, you go paid. If you are okay with the slow, the speed, then you can do organic stuff, right? We're going to look at organic stuff first, right? So that's the rule number one, right? So if you want to build faster, you pay the money and build fast. That's the game, right? So let's look at a slow method first, which is an organic method. What is the slow method? So there's a rule of this game. Right. So there's a rule of this game. Firstly, you must understand the rules, right? So when you doing organic content, when you're putting content organically on your Facebook, when you on any social media platform, there's some rules. So number one rule is never ask for business directly. Right? Never ask for business directly. Means that you can't just put a post in saying that come and work with me. Never ask for business directly, right? You do that once in a blue moon, once in a while, like, which you never did it, and you're saying, after 3 6 months, and you're saying, hey, I've got this spot, anybody wants to take it. But you shouldn't make this as a hobby, right? You don't want to do it and asking for people on your social media platform, asking for business. And if you do this quite often, you're pissing people off. Let's look at an example of this. Imagine that, you're running, or you're living wherever, you live, and stand outside on the street. Whoever walk past, and you're just standing up and screaming about that, come and buy from you. You're just standing and screaming. Whatever you do, just screaming about it, right? So saying, come and buy from me, come and buy from me. Whoever comes on the street, that you're just saying it. If you are, have a big office somewhere on the street which is busy, standing up and saying to people, what happens is, when you stand up on a street and you don't know people, you're just screaming about your business, saying, come and buy from me. People just get pissed off. They leave, they don't come. And that's the main reason, because you just keep telling them or asking them for business. What do you do instead? We'll talk about this. But this is the rule of the game, number one, right? So don't make it a rule. Do once in a while, which is like once in a blue moon, right? So 60% business and 40% personal life. So don't talk uh, personal, or don't talk business all the time, right? So yeah, okay, absolutely. Look, that's what we're going to talk about. You must do it, but don't make an offer all the time. All the time is not a good thing to do it. All the time is not a good thing. If you keep doing it all the time, you keep saying that, hey, come to me, my number is this, my this and that. You just, there is no frame in that. Absolutely no, zero framing. Just desperate to get a business, and people don't want to work with people who are desperate. That's a given. So if you seem any desperate, they just don't work with people. Absolutely make an offer, but I will talk about it. That's your right. I The more offer you make and more money you make. Absolutely. So keep listening. You'll get this answer today. Which is cool. So very good point. Look, love it. Absolutely love it, because more offers you make, more money you make, right? So, but this is not the place to make an offer, right? On your public profile, on your Facebook profile, you can't just keep making offers. There is a place to make an offer. So 60% of the business talk and 40% of the personal life. So if you just keep talking about business, that's no good. If you keep talking about personal, that's not good for your business. So just have to divide. So post 3 to 4 times per week. That's the main thing. People say, I can't do it. If you can't do it, hire somebody else to do it, right? Work with somebody else. Get somebody else to help you with this. Get somebody else to post it for you. Get somebody else to do the work for you. If you want us to do it, we'll do it. But get somebody to help you, right? So never use automated tool to post. And this is one of the other thing is, you never use automated tools for that, because people are pretty smart these days. You don't want to use all the online stuff to do the work. So if you do that, people know that, right? People know that really well. So organic was good for a few years ago, right? Remember that organic method was pretty good a few years ago, because Facebook was new, or all the social medias were new, and was pretty cool, because every person you had in your friend list was actually able to see that, right? It was pretty good. People were seeing stuff, right? So at the time, but now Facebook has gone crazy, like 2 billion people on one platform. 2 billion it's people just can't, you know Facebook algorithm can't make you keep seeing everybody's post. Facebook only show you the post who you close to, who you interacted with in last few weeks or few days, right? Facebook only just show you. So that makes it really hard to grow your business organically today. It's really hard today, right? So that's why it makes it really hard for people to do it. Even you have, I don't know, 2,000 people in your friend list. Out of 2,000, only like 50 might actually see your post. Why? Because these are the 50 you probably interacted with. You watch their stuff and they watch your stuff. And Facebook knows that when you click and watch somebody's stuff, even you snooping it, even you doing it, and Facebook knows that, right? Facebook, for the next time, they only show you those people who actually go out and watch. That's it. Similar to your profile as well. If somebody comes and watch your profile and they look at it, and Facebook will show them the next post, right? So So this is the main thing, right? So this organic method is very slow in a world. Yeah, so it takes a bit of time. So um, there is another method which we said fast method called paid marketing, right? Pay Facebook to make it happen. So pay Facebook, pay social media to make it happen for you. How do you do that? So remember what we said earlier. Our goal is to make people move from cold to warm to hot. That's the goal, right? We want to do that. And that's where the paid marketing comes really handy. Means that when you're doing a paid, it happens really, really, really quickly, right? Really quickly. So you can decide how quickly you want to move through this. So how you can do that, let's have a look very quickly. So you already know this, and I think some of you guys already know. I've talked about this earlier as well. I call it my secret weapon is called perception marketing, right? So let's walk through this. How do we make offers, right? Remember what we said earlier. You don't want to make an offer to everybody, right? Standing on a street, you just keep making offer is not a right thing. But you want to make offer more often, right? You often want to make an offer. How do you actually do that? And you want to do that to the right people. See, let's look at back this thing first. So you never make an offer to the cold audience. You never make an offer to the cold audience. You always, always, always make an offer to the people who are hot, right? So you don't want to make an offer to the cold audience. You want to make people to the hot, of people who are hot. Hot means that they have shown some interest in buying from you. That's what I mean. Hot doesn't mean that people who made you friend on Facebook, right? That doesn't mean hot. Hot means that people who are shown some interest in buying from you, right? Means that they did something. They registered for your event, they downloaded something, they gone on your website, they did something. You want to speak to those people, right? So really important to see this. If you don't, you make offer to the cold people, you're gonna annoy the hell out of them, right? So as I said earlier, this is my secret weapon, and we've been using it for a while now, and it works. So gonna give you example of this, right? So here's an example. Hope you guys can see this. And I did this campaign to all from Newcastle till Byron Bay, till Gold Coast, right? That the entire leg of that East Coast, from Newcastle till Byron Bay, right? That place. So pretty much all these cities in the middle, right? So what I did is I ran my training. I showed them my training. So I have this about 1 hour or 1.5 hour training. Some of you guys have seen this. So what this training is, I've shown this to people and see who takes the bait, right? It's a free training, didn't cost me anything. Sorry, didn't cost me to run again and again. I did record it one time, and I put it through this marketing method and showed this to people. So it's a free content. I gave it to them. Now look at this stat. So really, really, really important to see the stat, right? 50% of people, right? All, 75% of people, 73 people watch my 75% of video. It's an hour and a half or long video, about 80 minutes, 80, 90-minute video, right? So it's a long training. So people actually watch this training. So about 50% of people, means 30 to 40 minutes of video being watched by 99 people. See, if I physically go around and trying to tell people what the heck I do, right? What do I actually do? So if I have to tell 99 people, I have to catch up with them physically and meet them physically and have a cup of coffee with them. And, it's about an hour worth of my time, and physically going there, meeting them, having a coffee with them, and telling them what I do for them, right? What I do as a business, how can I help them? And we have a bit of chat, right? 30 minutes, 40 minutes, we spend time together. And all this time, and we have a coffee, it's just going to waste a lot of time in this. I'm sitting in Melbourne in my lounge room. I don't even know what time they watched it, but they've gone through my stuff without me knowing it, without me controlling it, without me doing or saying anything to them. They've watched it, they've gone through it. Now the example is, will they know after these 99 people who watched my content, or 73 people who watched my content and gone through my training, would understand what the heck, what I do, right? So So you reckon from this scale, if I look at it, once upon a time they were pretty cold. They had no idea who this guy is. Then I actually introduced them to my system. Then I showed them a training. Then they became hot, means that they consumed my stuff. They consumed my content. They understand what I do now. After spending 30, 40 minutes watching my video and going through my training, you reckon they're pretty, aware what I do. They know what I do, and if I can help them with anything, they understand this. So you make offer to people who are cold. So what I do after this is always make an offer to these people at the end. Means that I send them something, I ask for something, I ask for business in return. Out of these 99 people or 100 people, 30 people or 30% people will give me the business, like 30 people, or making 10 people, like for example 10 people will give a business to me. Why? Because they already know what I do. They're not cold. They're not just random people. I'm just screaming about my business, right? They're not random. They know what I do. So because they know me, because they already liked me, because they watched my content, now they have a bit of trust on me or with me, so they can actually do stuff, right? So that's the way you could actually do that online. So imagine catching up with 100 people within a day or within a couple of hours or within half a day. I ran this for pretty much for like a week, and within a week of this gone through crazy, right? So I've just stopped it, and then the second video popped up. So I showed my second video, which was an offer only, very, very specific, right? Very specifically, which was my offer to them. So that offer for them was buy from me, buy from me. No, Collie, you don't have a marketing funnel, and you don't need a marketing funnel because you don't have a business today which can help people offsite. You are consulting, you actually physically work with people, right? So you don't, this won't work for your business. It work for people who are not physically have, like, physically have to serve the client. So if you are a personal trainer, if you are, in your industry, you're physically actually helping people, this won't work for you. You pretty much have to do the same thing in Melbourne, right? Not for Newcastle or some other place. You don't need this marketing funnel. This is not a marketing funnel. This is just a Facebook ad way of putting the ad together. Don't just putting the, say for example, when you run lives or anybody runs live on Facebook, you're just running live for everybody on the Facebook, right? So in your friend list, people who liked your page, right? So the people who should be knowing about you, they have no clue, and the only people keep seeing your stuff is people who are in the, your friend list or people who like your stuff. That's it. So you want to make sure that you speak to the right people all the time, not just the random people, every person who's in your friend list. And that makes a business really interesting, because the more you speak to the right people, right, really right people, the more money you make, because they're the people who are ready to buy from you. They're ready to consume your stuff. They're ready to consume your content, because um, so let me answer the what's an example of automated tool. So sorry, I know I didn't get the question. Example of automated tool. This is Facebook. We manually do this work. There is no automated tool for this. The backend tool we use for funnels and stuff is a click funnel, but that's just different stuff. For this one, we manually do it. We put in a system together. So. Uh, So how do I get the mix right of marketing to my clients, 60% business and 40% personal? So I think you didn't get the point, Colin, earlier as well. So when I said 60% business, 40% personal, what I mean is that's not a marketing we're talking about. Marketing, when I say it's a paid content, I was talking about organic. What do you put on Facebook? What do you actually physically go and do the work? Like, you put your post, that's putting the content. So that's what I talked about. You put 60% business content and 40% personal content. Personal means that show your stuff other than business. Other than business, talk about other stuff. Means that what are you doing in city? What are you doing there? That's what we call organic personal stuff. But that was organic world, not marketing world. When I say marketing, very specifically talk about paid marketing, right? You're paying for it. When you pay for it, you have a more control. Who you show stuff, who showing your videos, who you showing your content. You have way too much control of that. Because you have a control, you can move people people from cold to warm to hot very, very quickly. You can do that. And that makes it life really interesting, because at the end of the day, you get to speak to really good people, right? You don't get to speak to everybody. You only speak to the right people. And that's where the fun starts. Because before that, it's just like speaking to everybody. Imagine that, right? Walking into a party. Imagine that walking into a party and you speak to, saying, everybody out there, whoever's hand you shake, and you meet everybody and say, hey, this is what I do for a living. Come and buy from me. Everybody's, whoever's hand you shake, you say the same thing. What's going to happen? They just like, why, this guy is just talking about business. I wasn't even interested, right? So this is what happens. So make sure, it's really important to see that. So what happens is, if you just want to talk about businesses, you speak to people who are interested. Yeah. Yeah. So you talk to people who are more interested in doing business with you, and you make offer to them quite often, right? You more offers you make, the better it is. But offer doesn't mean that have to be made to every person out there. So if you keep making offer to the cold audience, they're gonna get pissed off really badly. You never make an offer to cold audience. I never make an offer to cold audience ever. In my Facebook or personal thing, if you see that, once in a blue moon, I say, this is what we had. But other time I say, hey, I'm doing this training. Come and join me on this Facebook group. That's what most of the stuff happens, because I don't make offer to everybody. And same thing with the clients, right? You don't want, make sure that you don't want to piss people off. That's the other thing, right? So uh, let's talk about people who say, I don't have anything to share. Like, what type of content you can put, whether it's organic, whether you want to do a paid, you can channel it paid, you can channel it on organic. What type of content you put together, right? How you can actually do it. If somebody says, I don't have any content to share, how do you do it, right? So in the business world, you probably have some sort of FAQs, right? Somebody asks you certain questions. Somebody said, you put it something on your website, what are the frequently asked questions about your business. You create content based on that, right? So create content based on that means that one question could be a video. One question could be a pretty much a blog or vlog or whatever it suits the way you do it. But you make content based on that, right? So FAQs. The other one is, did you help any clients in the last few weeks, few months, and the clients ended up getting results, right? Whatever you help them with, they got the results. You can document that, right? You can document that. You can interview the person, you can speak to the person, you can document the entire journey, and you ask the person, is it okay if I could actually document what happened, our results, right? Can I document that? So speak to the person. If he or she says yes, then create a video. Can you explain how was the experience, like before you came to me, after that, how's the experience? So if you could actually document that and talk about the experience, what's going to happen is, everybody out there who are in the same place, they would see that, right? I'm in the same place because I don't know this as well. I'm exactly the same place as your client is or was. Now that your client moved on to some other place, that other person who's listening, they might be saying, holy crap, this person might be able to help me because that person already helped somebody else, right? So create content based on that. The other one is, can you run a training? Can you teach somebody something about your business, how you do it, how you help people, how you can actually do stuff? Can you run a training? Can you teach them something? If you teach them something, that's a pretty cool content. Right? I showed you my example of that. My 1.5 hour training, which I put it together, was perfect to teach people something. People watched it. Now they know what I do, right? So the other one is, why you do what you do. What's your story? Like, what's your story, right? You could have done anything. A lot of people out there, could have gone and did everything. Like there are a lot of business opportunities out there. There's a lot of jobs available, but you're doing something very specific. You're doing something very, very, very specific. Why you do what you do? What's the reason? If you chose this path, which is very specific, there must be a story behind it, right? So you share that story. Tell people about that story. The other one is, can you document your day? Can you document your day? Means that whatever time you start, can you document it? One day, say a life of this person, like whatever your life is, life of I don't know, this business person, right? Life of an accountant, life of property investor, life of a teacher, life of a trainer, life of a personal trainer, life of this person, life of whatever, like, whatever that might be, you could actually document every bits and pieces and put it together as a video, right? You could do that, right? So these are the some ideas. If you think that you don't have anything to share, we all have so much to share. We talk about a lot of stuff. We geek about, we are one of those, nerds in that space. If we somebody ask us very specific, very specifically about our topic, we could talk about it for hours and hours and hours, how we can actually do stuff, right? If you make logos, you would be talking about making logos to people, right? So really see. So you could actually put them, through marketing, right? So once you created this content, you could actually put through paid marketing, right? So it doesn't have to be just organic putting there. You could actually use the same content and put them through very, strategic way to actually show people certain things. Means that I showed personally a training, 1 hour training or 1.5 hour training to people in the East Coast. I showed that was 1 hour training, which I very specifically showed to those people, right? You could do that as well. You can target very specifically all this content. You can target very specific markets, right? Very specific segment you can target, right? So I think the main thing is in this space, if you want to grow your business, you want to take your business to the next level, you must be a farmer, not a hunter. Because if you're a farmer, you plant a seed, uh, yeah, yeah, it's really important, right? You plant a seed in everybody's life. Whichever way you go, whoever you meet, you just plant a seed. You plant a seed. You plant a seed. Give them something. You plant a seed, because the intention at the end of the day is, whenever they think of this thing, they should think of your name, right? That's the way it should be. Because you're a farmer, planting a seed in everybody's brain about you. What do you do? If you're trying to sell somebody, you're trying to hunt it, it's going to be really bad. So remember this really tiny line, right? Be a farmer. Don't be a hunter. Because hunter, what they do is they're just standing outside, hiding behind the tree and trying to hunt people, right? You probably have seen hunters many times, right? Yeah, yeah, true, absolutely. It's a cold, warm, and hot, right? But look what hunters do. Hunters do trying to hunt the people who don't know, right? So you walk into any meetup, you walk into any function, you walk into any space, especially in the business meetings, and people carrying the business cards. And the only thing they do is they take the business card out there and they just give it to people and say, "Hey, this is what I do," right? Straight away. So you could see that people are hunting. People whoever give the business card first, they are in hunting mode, right? They are in hunting mode. They're just hunting people because that's what they believe, that somebody just needs to have a business card to do a business with them, right? So they're just going out and hunting. So don't be a hunter. Don't be a hunter, because if you're a hunter, you won't get a business. You just get people piss off, and people are going to get really annoyed. That's why, it's really important. These are small things, but matters the most, right? Very small stuff, very small stuff. If you're a hunter, it's the worst thing you could do for your business, and you don't want to make people annoyed, and you make a real connection. As I said earlier when we started this, you are a human being first, and you are a business owner after that. It's not the other way around, that you are a business owner and human is part of that. You're a human being, right? So work with other humans like human beings. Treat them like human beings, and whether it's online, offline, you treat them like human beings. um, Business is, yeah, good. We must do very, very planned way of doing it. You only work with people who are ready to work with you, and you show stuff to people. So don't just so make sure that you don't just do the work. Don't just go out and um, just dump your stuff on people, right? When you dump stuff on people, people just get really annoyed. And you don't want to annoy people. You want to be a farmer who nurture people, right? Who nurture people, right? Help people. So help people in that space, and have a plan behind it. Hope that makes sense today. All right. Did that actually make sense? Did that actually make sense? So did that actually make sense? All right. Let's look at it. What we got here. Yeah. So I think let's have a look. So the question here is, what can we do, or can we use any automated tools to make people from hot to warm to cold? Oh, sorry, from cold to warm to hot, right? So um, I think my in so the yes, there is an automated way of doing it. Means that you give them bits and pieces to begin with. Like say, for example, I'll give you my example that make more sense. I think I'll show it to you. I think showing it is a bit better. So let me share this with you guys and show how that actually works in real life. How do I make people um, from cold to warm, and then start with something, right? So then we talk about business. So let me turn this off and start with this website. Where is that website gone? So where are we? So this is just an example I'll share with you guys how I take people through a journey. How do I make them uh, all right, so let's look at this. See, now look at it. Everybody out there today is pretty much cold for me. Only certain people know about me, right? So this is just one strategy. It's not everything. It's just one strategy. So I'm sharing one strategy, not anything else. So this is just an example, right? Free guide to underground playbook to dominate Facebook ads, lead generation, and conversion and traffic, right? Just a very specific, very. So what it does is, this is what I do is I put this thing through Facebook ads, very specifically Facebook ads. So I give this thing away to people. So you can call it a lead magnet. In marketing world, we call it a lead magnet. You can call it warm, or you can call anything. So all this traffic out there, which is hot, which is cold today, right now, they don't know anything about Jag. They have no clue who I am, what I do. So I send this to them, and they see this. This probably going to be seen by, I don't know, 100,000 people, right? Out of 100,000 people, or say out of 20,000 people, only 500 take action. Means that they put their name, and they put their email address, and they give me their contact details, right? So what happens is, this is quite warm now. They actually understand what I do. They have given me their stuff. So after this, I am happy to make an offer to them, right? They've seen this. So if you could actually go on my website as well, you could actually see this. This is my website. People come to my website, they're cold. I could actually market this, and they go to this website and they see this. Same thing. They click on this, they go to that page, and what happens is they are warm now, right? They warm, and they understand what I do. So this actually take them through a journey. So you very specifically, you move people through different steps, and you have to design it, do a whiteboard session, and design it. How are you going to make people from cold to warm, warm to hot? How are you going to do it? And you design the strategy, whether it's a videos, whether it's a PDFs, whether it's a ebooks, whether it's something else, you design that strategy, right? So you put it together. So some of them might be a tool. For some of them, you might just manually do it. Everything else, I think it's when you do a marketing, you kind of do it manually first, and walk or move people through journey, depending which which strategy are you using, right? Hope this made sense. All right, who else we got? Any other questions? Any other questions? Let's have a look. Any other questions? Where are we? Where are we? There's a lot of browsers open. All right. Any other questions? Does that actually make sense? Did that actually make sense? Did that make sense? Did you guys enjoy it, today's training? Did you guys like it? Did you guys like it? You can call it an ebook. Colin wasn't an ebook. This was just a PDF for like 5, 6, 7 pages, I think. So it wasn't an ebook. It was just kind of a lead magnet to give a bit of information to people. Right. So ebook is a bit bigger than that. I usually say 20, 30 pages is ebook. It's a bit bigger, right? So it's a bit longer. All right. Any questions? Any questions? All right. Okay, guys, if you, thank you. All right, cool. All right, guys, thank you for your time. Go and watch it again if you want to watch it from beginning. And I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. I think I'm doing one more training tomorrow. So some of you guys are coming, but good. So I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Let me turn this off. All right. Have a good night. Enjoy. And let's have a chat tomorrow as well. Yeah, it's going to be available, Colin, in the Facebook group. So go in our Facebook group. It's going to be available. So this is recorded. Yeah, Facebook group. Cool. All right. Speak to you guys tomorrow.